guys, welcome to my channel. Today I have for you the first in a series called Back in the Day, and it was a Monday. The next Back in the Day might have been a Friday. You just never know what you're going to get. But today, Back in the Day, and it was a Monday, I'm going to pull out my OG Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and we're going to return to the beginning of smelly eyeshadows and beautiful neutrals. And I came up with this everyday look for you. And if you would like to see how I got this look, then please keep watching. In one of my previous videos, I was talking about how I was kind of in the mood to start revisiting some of the palettes that I loved when I first started really getting into makeup. And I decided that I was going to call that Back in the Day, that it was going to be a series called Back in the Day. And when I say back in the day, again, I think of a comedian who used to say, it was back in the day, and it was a Tuesday. Well, today it's back in the day, and it was a Monday. And so today I'm getting ready to go work in my classroom. This week has been designated to decorate and clean and get everything organized and just get things ready for the kids. You guys wouldn't believe what it takes to get everything prepared. So we go in weeks early so that everything's ready once the kids get there. So today, for Back in the Day, and it was a Monday, I decided to use my very first favorite high-end-ish palette, which is the Chocolate Bar by Too Faced. Obviously, this is a favorite of many people, and I don't know very many people who are really into makeup who don't have this, but you can see by the look of my palette that it's been well loved, and I believe that's probably the first time that I ever hit pan on a palette, but it's been well loved and I continue to use it every once in a while when I want a no-nonsense look and I just want something that I'm so familiar with that I can get ready very quickly. This is one that I gravitate towards very, very often. And whenever I have a palette or some singles that I'm using and I don't have a brow bone highlight or an inner corner highlight, this is always the one that I turn to. I used to set my primer with this one, so as you can see, it's been well loved. But I'm going to go in with that. Even though I set my primer with some translucent powder, I'm going to go ahead and go in and just kind of dust that over my entire lid. It's called, oh goodness, I forgot that this one doesn't have the names on it. Boo. I'll try to remember them, but I think this is called White Chocolate. I'll look it up whenever I'm doing my editing, and I'll put an annotation if I get it wrong. And I just put this on my entire lid. I'm using this BRC N42, which is a Coastal Scents brush that I'm not even sure if it's available anymore, but any big fluffy brush that will cover a lot of area quickly will do the trick. It's amazing how whenever I do that, how if there is a stray eyebrow that needs to be pulled, it shows up very distinctly whenever I put that white eyeshadow over it. So let me take care of this guy. Not sure if I did it. There we go. We gotta have a nice and smooth brow bone, right? Okay. I am positive that this shade is called Salted Caramel, Salted Caramel. We Okies say caramel. We're just a little bit podunk. I never think that I have an accent until I start listening to myself on a video, and I'm like, yes. My dad tells a story whenever I was a little girl about how when we moved from Arizona, I didn't have an accent, but like within 8 hours, I had a very thick twang. I picked up on it very quickly. But I'm going to go in to Salted Caramel with the BH Cosmetics blender brush. And this is probably the perfect transition shade of all time. It's beautiful. So I just put this in my crease and just start with windshield wipers and then go into circles and just blow it out. I don't have to be precise with this. It's a beautiful warm mid-tone brown. Perfection for a transition. And if you guys do not have this palette, it smells like chocolate It smells like hot chocolate mix to me. And it's just kind of an experience to use this palette. Love it. Still love it. Still love it. Okay, now comes the time where I'm forgetting about what these colors are. I want to say that this color is milk chocolate. I'm not sure that I'm correct on that, but I'm going to go in with a Morphe M521. It's a blender, but it's very dense. It's not as fluffy as most of these types of brushes, but I like it for defining the crease because it just kind of deposits the color and blends it for you all at the same time. I think I better tap this one. These are very soft shadows, and so sometimes you can get some fallout if you don't go very lightly in with your brush, or at least tap off the excess. So I'm going on my outer corner, starting with my outer corner. Wherever you place the brush first is where you're going to get the most pigmentation. So I like to concentrate it on the outer corner and then pull it into the crease. I start slow and build it up. Okay, that's looking good. I'm going to go back in with my blender and just smooth out the edges of this. And you'll see that I blend in between each step. And sometimes in the process of blending, you will take away a little of the color. So it's kind of a back and forth thing. Place the color, blend it out. Place the color, blend it out. I want to put a little bit of warmth, and I like to do, most of the time I use this color here, and I believe it's called Cherry Cordial. It's a very pretty pigmented color, very pigmented, and I love it for the extreme outer corner or the very outside edge of my look, where I just kind of place it right out here on the very outer V. Oh, and I'm using a Sigma E25. And I basically just place it and just go around and around in little circles. And then pull into my crease very slightly. And this mixed with the milk chocolate, it doesn't show a lot of burgundy, but it does deepen the outer corner with a little bit of more darkness. I think the mix of these two is really pretty. Okay. I'm going to go back with the brush that I used for the milk chocolate and just blend those two together. And then blend the whole thing with the BH blender. And that's good for my foundation. At this point, I like to go in with a shimmer. I can't remember the name of this one. I'll have to look it up for you later. I either use this shade here or I go really sparkly and pink and I choose this one. I think this one's called Pink Champagne or something like that. And that I'm just in the mood for the light pink and sparkly. When I use that shade, I like to put down this shade first because it gives kind of a pinky foundation and makes the other one show up more. I'm using a BH Cosmetics No Number brush from a set. And I'm going to go into this pretty pink pastel matte that I don't know the name of. And I'm just going to pat that on my lid. This just kind of brings some lightness and brightness to it before I go in with the shimmer. And what can I say? If there's a pink color on anything, I want to use it. Every time. I'm going to use my ring finger for the Pink Champagne for the shimmer, just to give it some better pigmentation, or better color payoff, I guess, when I use my finger. Yes, I remember how much I love you. I'm going to go in with this BH Cosmetics 102 concealer brush just to really make sure it's packed in there. And back with my finger for this side. Corner of my brow bone highlight, I'm going to use a BH Cosmetics. It's like a small angled brush, again with no number. I'm going to go into white chocolate first and go under my brow bone. And then I'm going to take that BH blender, go back into Salted Caramel, and go around in between the brow bone and the rest of the look. And it just kind of ties everything together and blends out that brow bone highlight. And then I'm going to use the same angled brush to go into Pink Champagne, I think. This should preview that this is a back in the day, because I can't remember the shade names, and I got one of the earlier palettes that doesn't have the names on the palette. And so I'm just really highlighting, brightening up my inner corner with that. Also matches up to where I put it on the lid. So I'm happy with the way that looks. And I'm going to get my Morphe E36. This is my favorite lower liner brush. And I'm going to go into Salted Caramel and just run that along my lower lash line, just to define this. In my everyday looks, I rarely do much on my lower lash line other than putting usually the transition color there to make sure that my lower lash line is defined, but it doesn't need to necessarily be a dark color or anything sparkly or anything like that. Alright, first I'm going to go in with my Tweezerman eyelash curler and put a nice bend in my eyelashes. Alright, I'm going to be going in with the Stila Stay All Day waterproof liquid liner pen. And I'm going to attempt to do a mini wing. Somehow my mini wings turn into maxi wings every time. But we're going to see how it goes. That is pretty tame for me, so I'm gonna leave well enough alone.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing but.
Alright, I made some baby wings. It can be done. Who knew? I'm going to go in for my bottom lashes with my Rimmel Lash Accelerator. Start off with Benefit Roller Lash. As much as I would love to put lashes on, because I love to put lashes on every single time I go anywhere, getting all hot and sweaty and dirty in a classroom, false lashes really are not necessary for that. So I'm going to try to build up my natural lashes as much as possible. So we'll start with Roller Lash. This is one of my favorite mascaras because it like literally curls and locks in the curl that you already have. Fans everything out, lengthens. It's really black. Makes my non-existent eyelashes look like that I actually have a few. I sure have to work at it. And then I go through, usually with Better Than Sex Mascara by Too Faced, but today I'm going to try this. This is the Colossal Big Shot by Maybelline. I like it because it has a lot of little bristles. And this kind of comes in and adds a little bit of volume without clumping everything up. Yeah, that looks good. And that's what I'm going to leave it with. All right, I've got Aquarius liner and Lippie. I think, yes, this Aquarius is the Kathleen Lights collaboration. When I was new to the YouTube beauty community, ooh, I'm breaking stuff. I bought every collaboration. I'm a little bit more choosy now. Not that the collaborations now aren't good, but because there's a lot of things that are similar to what I already have. So here's the lip liner. Every time I use ColourPop lippies, I forget how much I love them and why I wonder why I don't use them more often. One reason, if ColourPop is watching, is because the writing on them is so little and it rubs off that I can't see which thing I have. And so, I like to match the Lippie sticks with the Lippies. Dig through all and try to see without my glasses what the color is with whatever letters are left. Almost just colored my cheek. I wish Eli would come over and see you guys. He's a very shy kitty. You may never see him. And here's the Lippie stick. I don't know if I'm even saying these right. And this is one of their cream formulas. And it's so comfortable. Moisturizing, and I love almost all ColourPop lippies. So this will go with me to work. To finish everything off, I'm going to use my e.l.f. Mist and Set. I use this on days where I'm just kind of just going out and doing whatever, and it's not crucial that my makeup stays, but this is still pretty good. It's not my favorite, but it's good for every day, and it's inexpensive, so that's what I'm going to use. It does the trick. All right, guys, that's the finished look for my first back in the day, and it was a Monday, with my OG chocolate bar palette from Too Faced. You can get a beautiful look every time, and there's lots of variations that you can do with this palette, but for me, it's kind of like an everyday, no nonsense, let me grab this because I know exactly what I want to do and how to use it kind of palette. It smells good, the pigmentation is good, there's lots of cool shades, and so if you don't have it, it's really a good staple palette to have, and one of my favorite Too Faced products. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope that it will inspire you to grab your chocolate bar palette out and give it another whirl. So if you have a palette actually that you know would be good for the back of the day series, then let me know what that is, and maybe I'll include it in the next one. But otherwise, I just want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time. Time is precious to me, so I know it is to you, and so I am very grateful that you took some time out of your life to spend it with me today. And so I hope I'll see you again next time. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.